I'm going to make this short and sweet. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. And as July 4th, 2011 draws to a close, I want you to know I'm not some romanticist. I know our republic and our history here in the United States isn't perfect. But I've studied other cultures, other countries, other empires, and I'm here to tell you there's nothing that compares. If you're wondering why this is a black screen, I'm shooting it as I lay here in bed next to my wife. She just went to sleep. We put the children down about 20 minutes ago. And instead of waiting tomorrow to upload an audio blog, I'm just shooting video in the dark. And so this is basically a shot in the dark. They try to train you to be cynical, to not care about freedom. They teach you that it's like a cloak of invulnerability, a power to not care. But look at all the illegal wars our government's launching. Look at the trillions looted by foreign banks that openly are engaged in fraud. Look at Wachovia and Wells Fargo openly in front of everyone laundering $376 billion in drug money in 2 years and not even getting in trouble for it. Look at just the legions of outrageous crimes that have been committed. And this very same group with their paid media whores is telling us get rid of due process, get rid of the First Amendment, get rid of private property. And the financiers of these rotten ideas are offshore international criminals. Large portions of the Bilderberg Group's former members can't even go to their meetings because many of the countries they meet in have indictments out, have arrest warrants out for them. It's like a nightmare. Can't we just wake up from it? But I know it's that cycle of society where you go into tyranny and bondage, then if you throw it off, you're hardworking and appreciate freedom and defend those basic bedrock principles, and then great plenty and great wealth then comes out of it, and then each generation gets more and more decadent until corruption sets back in, and then finally tyranny, and then the cycle repeats itself. But you know, most countries never even get out of that cycle. You look at Latin America, Africa, Asia, many areas of Eastern Europe, they just never get out of it. They have tiny elites that use poverty and a fraudulent non-due process system to control everybody. And that's what we face again today. You know, in closing, I got really angry today at the media, the controlled dinosaur media, who's trying to now bring in internet censorship and control to block the new media that actually covers real issues. I saw them demonizing the Bill of Rights and Constitution, and it just made me remember the fact that they're not just attacking the Bill of Rights and Constitution, Declaration of Independence, an idea that's so anathema to them that blocks their criminal activity. They believe in something. They're not just against things. They believe in something, and it's what the royalty and aristocrats 150 years ago financed in England and Germany, a scientific excuse for their barbarism, their wars, their disgust for the public. And that is neo-Malthusian eugenics, population reduction. They took Darwin's theories and turned it into social Darwinism, that no matter how horrible a thing they do, that in the end it's their right to do it because they're in power. It's up to us good people who believe in a fair playing field. Doesn't mean it'll ever be totally fair, but you have to strive for that or you'll just give in to hell. It's up to us that believe in a fair playing field to agree on a code, a manifesto of freedom. And even if you throw out the Bill of Rights and Constitution because you want to be trendy and want something new, I think it's a good idea to have private property. I think it's a good idea to have due process. I think it's a good idea the government just can't come in your house without a warrant. I think it's a good idea to have sovereignty and not have a president who's like a king who can invade any country anytime they want and who can also raise armies against their own population. I've studied history, and I realize we're going into a very decadent, very corrupt, very warlike stage in society, and I get really concerned deep down inside for everybody. You know, I could say that I'm horrified and scared, but I'm really not, because I'm aware of the threat and I'm facing the truth and preparing for the expansion of the ongoing war against human dignity. But I really am worried about the general public who have bought into denial and who think that it's a shield of protection to live in mindless denial. I'm Alex Jones, signing off from the InfoWar. And if you're listening to this transmission, remember, you are the resistance.